We start our seafood expedition in the Pacific Northwest, specifically the Snake River Plain Aquifer in southern Idaho. This is where about 75% of all commercial rainbow trout is produced in the U.S.
This is a really unique area. I mean, that's the reason we raise 75% of the rainbow trout here, is because we have the Snake River Aquifer, which provides pristine water that's basically the best water you can get at the right temperature, constant temperature, 14 degrees C, for rearing rainbow trout. So they grow incredibly fast here.
That's Dr. Ken Overturf, research geneticist with ARS's Small Grains and Potato Germplasm Research Unit in Aberdeen, Idaho. Yes, this is Idaho, so potato research is big here. But so is fish farming, especially using flow-through systems where the fish are raised in a natural but contained environment. The aquifer provides the water under the perfect conditions to grow fish incredibly fast.
This water does not change. It's the same year-round, and the fish grow much faster than they do in other rearing environments.
It's interesting that when you think of a contained or farm system, you think of large tanks or long channels. But this system is actually in the open, using a natural river down from a canyon, and yet they could still control the most important elements for raising fish: water quality, flow, density, temperature, and feed.
It is pretty amazing. It flows right out of these canyon walls. So basically, it really can't be captured for anything else because you have a short fall from that canyon to the river. You're not going to use it for anything else. And it's evolved where they've built these raceways to raise trout between where the canyon is and where the river to capture that as it flows down. Yeah, it's a unique and amazing system here.
The biggest challenge here, and with other aquifer flow-through systems, is the inability to expand the size of the facility. I mean, you can't just widen the canyon or expand the river. It is what it is. So without the ability to expand, Dr. Overturf and his colleagues focus on best management practices to increase fish yields, health, and size. The main priorities are diet and rainbow trout strain. Most rainbow trout diets here are comprised of fish meal, soybean meal, poultry byproducts, and fish oil to a less extent. Dr. Overturf is working with farmers to scale up plant-based feeds, such as soybean.
They are really good about that because they make a real push for sustainable, and they show that their product is sustainably farmed, that they're producing more soybean meal with less carbon footprint, less water, less soil erosion, and they can market that product. So we can put that in the feed and say that these fish are reared on sustainable products.
Dr. Overturf also helps run a feed lab, which can produce relatively large batches of commercial quality feed for testing. They're even testing insect meal, which has become a popular feed product because of its high protein content and availability. I mean, whoever said we don't have enough insects?
We look at everything. We buy products from a number of other different supply streams. I mean, it's always scale is what it comes down to. There's a lot of great products out there, but having it to scale, and it has to be readily available to the feed processors. I mean, that's a huge thing. If they can't get it reliably sourced and the same consistency, they're not going to use it.
Dr. Overturf works closely with fish farmers on selecting quality plant-based food for their particular breeds of fish. He also said holding the fish at the proper density could help increase production, along with completely understanding the water environment, including water quality and chemistry, microbiome levels, and effluent discharge. Combining these management practices can substantially increase healthy yields and size while maintaining consistent taste.
This is something our group focuses on, production. We work really closely with producers. We're constantly speaking with them, and we have research projects. I've got germplasm that's being released to the industry constantly. It's utilized by the majority of the industry. Working with these groups now, I mean, they're looking at improving production 25% here in the next couple of years, just on the existing facilities. Again, management practices and putting all those interactions together and understanding how they interact is huge.
That increase is important to keep up with consumer demand for healthy, tasty fish that's sold at a price point that allows the average American family to eat seafood multiple times a week. The current market is pretty split between farm-raised and wild, but we still import billions of pounds of fish every year. Certainly there's room to grow our aquaculture industry.
I see consumer demand going up for fish. Aquaculture is getting more and more of the market. There's more fish being reared than beef and pork. it's continually growing, and as the demand for aquaculture or seafood grows, that sustainability market is going to go up too.